Good morning, my name is Anna Bonora and I am a research fellow of the University of Bologna at the Department of Architecture. I wrote this contribution with Vincenzo Costanzo from the University of Catania, Pretelli and Christian Fabbri from the University of Bologna, and Eva Schito from the University of Pisa. The title of this presentation is Indoor Microclimate and Conservation Issues of the Medicean Villa La Petraia, a preliminary assessment. The aim of this contribution is to present the methodology and the main results emerged from the study of the indoor microclimate carried out in 3 rooms of Villa La Petraia, including the description of probe location, recorded parameters, monitoring duration, and the interpretation of the monitored data. Why is the indoor microclimate monitoring important for architects and restorers? Because it is one of the main tools for the assessment of and diagnosis of materials degradation, and consequently for the knowledge and conservation of the cultural heritage. The case study of this research is the UNESCO World Heritage Site of the Medicean Villa La Petraia in Florence, in Italy, and the research focuses on the indoor microclimate conditions experienced in there. Indeed, the goal is to verify if the current microclimatic conditions of Villa La Petraia can guarantee the conservation of the artworks guarded inside the building. Villa La Petraia is an historical building built around the 14th century, and this building has undergone several transformations over time, which have changed its configuration and consequently its internal microclimate. In this regard, an addition of particular importance was the construction of closure sky dome in the central courtyard with an iron and glass cover added in 1872. Of course, the modifications caused by these changes affected the conservation of the numerous artworks which are hosted indoor, such as paintings, tapestries, and furnishings. Moreover, these changes represented the starting point for the present study, which focuses on the conservation problems arising from the current configuration of the building. About the adopted research methodology, it is articulated as follows. The first step was the archival research, second step, architectural relief on site, third step, indoor monitoring campaign, last step, analysis of the monitored data. The first 2 steps allow gathering information about the building's geometry, verifying the material and thermophysical characteristic, and the history of any architectural modifications or changes in the use of rooms. With regard to the monitoring campaign inside the villa, it began with the positioning and activation of the probes on 22nd of July 2015, and it ended on the 23rd of April 2016. Given the large number of rooms that constitute the building, it was decided to place the probes in the 3 main rooms, which, as said at the beginning, are the inner courtyard, the red room or dining room on the ground floor, and the games room on the second floor. Moreover, probes data were made remotely consultable and recorded every 15 minutes. The parameters recorded by probes included temperature, relative humidity, and, just for the games room, CO2 concentrations. I specify that the bridge mentioned in the figures is a tool that receives data from all 3 probes and sends them to the internet platform. Moreover, due to the artistic constraints and respective limitations, the probes and the bridge were not directly fixed to the walls, but there were always a suitable surface support that also did guarantee a minimal impact for museum visitors. Moreover, thanks to this solution, the operation was also completely reversible. Those monitored data have been analyzed. Indeed, the paper reports trends of temperature and relative humidity, recorded during the monitoring campaign in the different rooms, and there is also a direct comparison of data and some evaluations of the CO2 values recorded in the games room. And we considered the suggested conservation ranges from the Italian standard Uni 10829 for the main works of art hosted inside Villa La Petraia, which are frescoes, furniture, tapestries, and paintings, as said before. And here the graphs report the safe band of temperature and relative humidity, considering just the major artworks hosted inside Villa Petraia, to underline the relative humidity and temperature fluctuations values which are risky for the artwork's preservation. And it is noted that in all three rooms, the majority of the temperature and the relative humidity monitored data do not fall within these ranges. The worst conditions have been recorded in the courtyard, where, for example, we have temperature and relative humidity oscillations, respectively even around 15 degrees for temperature and 30% for relative humidity. With regard to the trend and values of the other two rooms, they are very coincidental. Indeed, we have relative humidity oscillations even around 20% between July and November, and minors between November and March. And the temperature oscillations recorded for these two rooms are much lower than the ones of the courtyard. We are talking about between 2 and 4 degrees, but nevertheless too high for the preservation of artifacts. And finally, in conclusion, we propose a possible solution, a solution which could prevent the conservation of the artworks guarded inside the Villa La Petraia. And the proposal is to install an opening system of the sky dome. Indeed, through the use of building performance simulations, it would be possible to propose a design scenario where the sky dome is equipped with an automated opening system that allows to opening and closing the glazed area to provide some natural ventilation. And this building model, which will be presented and discussed by authors in upcoming research, will be used also to evaluate the thermal comfort conditions of visitors and of daily occupants of Villa La Petraia. And thank you everyone for your attention, of course.